Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Crochet for Baby. Thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet these little pants for baby boys and girls between 3 and 6 months old. Now, I used the star stitch and I made these baby pants to match the little cardigan that I already showed you, this one here. I'll leave the link to this tutorial down here in the information box. Also, stay tuned for the matching little bonnet, the matching hat, and the matching baby booties. At the end of the tutorial, I leave you the measurements, so be sure to check that out. And be sure to check out the information box here below. There I will leave some information on how you can make it smaller or bigger from a newborn baby up to maybe around 12 months, so be sure to check that out. Okay, so I hope you like it, and without further ado, let's get started, and thank you for watching. Okay, to begin, I'll be using this 4mm crochet hook, and today I'm using this number 3 baby yarn. You can also use any DK weight yarn. Okay, so to begin, I have 9 chains. Into the second chain from the hook, we're going to make a single crochet. Single crochet into each one of these chains. So I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single crochets. Now turn, chain 1, and again we're going to make single crochets, but we're going to insert our hook through the back loop of these single crochets, so like this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single crochets, turn, chain 1. This is all we're going to do from here on. You're just going to repeat the same thing. Single crochet on top of the first single crochet, but make sure that you only insert your hook through the back loop, like this. I'm not exactly sure how many rows I'm going to do, but continue like this, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making this part. I did a total of 74 rows, and it's measuring about 38 centimeters, which is about 15 inches. So here, what we're going to do next is we're going to join both ends like this. So I'm going to insert my hook right here, grab this loop, bring it through the front, and chain 1. Now insert your hook into the next stitch and back here into the next stitch, grab a loop and make a slip stitch into the next, and in the back grab a loop and join. This is all I'm going to do, so I'll come back and show you once this part here is done to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished joining both of these ends, and this is what it looks like. So now we're going to turn this like this, and we're going to switch to this 3.5mm crochet hook from here on. So here, insert your hook into this last loop and chain 1. Now we're going to make half double crochets in this row. So beginning here, right next to this stitch right there, insert your hook and make your first half double crochet. Now into the next space, make another one. That's 2. Here, don't insert your hook into this stitch right here. We want to make sure that these half double crochets are really reinforced, so we're going to go in the center instead. Right here where both rows joined, right in the center. Insert your hook there and make your half double crochet there. That's 3. Now into the next space we're going to make an increase, so you're going to make 2 half double crochets. Now again, make 3 half double crochets, and in the 4th you're going to do the increase. So let me show you again. Don't insert your hook here in any of these. You can clearly see that it only has one strand, so we want to make sure that these half double crochets are reinforced. So go in the middle instead and insert your hook there and make a half double crochet. That's 1. Right next to it, that's 2. Right in the center again, 3. And into the next stitch, this is our 4th, so make 2 half double crochets. Again, half double crochet into the center, to the side, that's 2, right in the center again, that's 3, and right to the side, 2 half double crochet. So continue like this, making 3 half double crochets, and into the next space 2 half double crochets. Continue, and I'll meet you here at the end of this first row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this first row. I have a total of 93 half double crochets. To finish, we're going to go here to the side and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finish this first row. Now for the second row, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make increases. So chain 1 into this same space here, make a half double crochet. Here I'm going to make 4 half double crochets. So that's 2, 3, 4. Into the next, 2 half double crochets into the same stitch. Again, make 4 half double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next 2 half double crochets. Continue like this for this second row, and I'll meet you at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this second row. I have a total of 111 half double crochets. To finish, we're just going to go here to the side and join with a slip stitch. Now, make sure that this slip stitch that you just did is nice and loose, because this is going to count as a stitch in the next rows. Now, for the third row, chain 3, turn. Make sure that when you turn this way. Don't turn this way, because then your chains are twisted. Instead, just chain 3 and turn. You can easily see your chains here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start using our pattern stitch, which is the star stitch. So to do the star stitch, you're going to go into the second chain from the hook and grab a loop. Into the third chain, grab a loop. Into the slip stitch that we just did, insert your hook and grab a loop. 4 loops on the hook. Into the next 2 half double crochets, grab a loop, 6 loops on the hook, close, chain 1. Now again, insert your hook into the eye of your star stitch, grab a loop to the side of this star stitch, and into the last stitch where we pull the last loop, grab a loop, and into the next 2 half double crochets, grab a loop. 6 loops on the hook, close, chain 1. Again, insert your hook into the eye of the star stitch, to the side, grab a loop, into the last stitch, grab a loop, and into the next 2 half double crochets, grab a loop. 6 loops, close, chain 1. Now this is all I'm going to do for this third row, so continue, and I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this third row. Up to here I have 54 star stitches. I need to make one last one. So to do this last one, we're going to insert a hook through this little eye, grab a loop, to the side, grab a loop, into this last stitch, grab a loop, and into the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, we're going to grab a loop. So insert your hook, grab a loop, and grab a loop. Now this last star stitch is going to have 7 loops, 2, 4, 6, 7. Now grab a loop, don't close it yet. What we're going to do here at the end of every row is we're going to go directly on top of the first star stitch right there and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished this first row, now with a total of 55 star stitches. Now for the fourth row, chain 2 and turn. Now in this row, we're going to make 2 half double crochets inside each one of these star stitches. So into the little eyes, we're going to make 2 half double crochets. So beginning into this first one here, make 2 half double crochets. 1, 2. Into the next, 1, 2. Into the next, 1 and 2. This is all we're going to do for this row, so continue like this. This is what it looks like on the right side. There it is. Okay, so continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this fourth row. I have a total of 110 half double crochets. Now to finish, we're going to go here to the side. We're going to find the first half double crochet. So right there, you see the 2 loops to the side. Insert your hook there and join with a slip stitch. Now from here on, the slip stitch is going to count as a stitch. So make sure that it's nice and loose, because in the next row, we're going to use that stitch. So for the next row, we're going to do the first row to our pattern stitch, the star stitches. So chain 3 and turn. Into the second chain from the hook, insert your hook and grab a loop. Into the third chain, grab a loop. And into the slip stitch that we just did, right there, grab a loop. And into the next 2 stitches, grab a loop. 6 loops on the hook, close, chain 1. Now again, insert your hook into the eye of your star stitch, to the side, into this last stitch, and into the next 2 half double crochets, grab a loop, 6 loops on the hook, close, chain 1. Now continue like this for this row, and I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of the 5th row. This is the first row to our pattern stitch. So here to finish, I have made my last star stitch, but I have not closed it. I have 55 star stitches. So to finish, go on top of the first star stitch right here and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finish this 5th row, which is our first row to our pattern stitch. Now we're going to do the second row to the pattern stitch, which is row 6. So chain 1 and turn. Here inside each one of these star stitches, we're going to make 2 half double crochets like this. 2 half double crochets into the next, 2 half double crochets into the next, and so on. Continue like this, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you once again what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this 6th row, which is the second row to our pattern stitch. Now to finish this row, you're always going to go here to the side where we have the first half double crochet and join with a slip stitch. Make sure that this slip stitch that we just did is nice and loose, because it does count as a stitch in the next row. So from here on, we're just going to repeat these 2 rows. So for the next row, we're going to chain 3 and turn. Here we're going to do the first row to our pattern stitch. So insert your hook into the second chain, grab a loop, into the third chain, grab a loop, into the slip stitch that we just did right here, insert your hook and grab a loop. See, this is why you need to leave it nice and loose, because you're going to have a hard time inserting your hook through there. So there, grab a loop, into the next 2, grab a loop, 6 loops on the hook, close, chain 1. Now again, insert your hook into the little eye here, to the side here, grab a loop, into this last stitch, grab a loop, and into the next 2 stitches, grab a loop. 6 loops on the hook, close, chain 1. Continue like this for this row. When you finish, remember you don't close the last star stitch. You close it by making a slip stitch here on top of the first star stitch, and then you chain 1 and then repeat the row we just finished. I'm not exactly sure how many rows I'm going to do, but continue like this, just repeating these 2 rows, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I did a total of 9 rows of star stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I started my 10th, but I haven't finished. I need to do the second row to our pattern stitch, which is where we do the half double crochets. So I have 9.5 rows completed of star stitch, and it's measuring from here, the top of the waistband, to the last row that I did. It's measuring about 20 centimeters, which is almost 8 inches. Okay, so now in the next row, we're going to divide the legs. So here I have, remember that we have a total of 55 star stitches all around. So this is the back. This is where I finished my last star stitch. So here I have, this is the last star stitch, and right next to it, right here, this is the first star stitch to this row. So right there, I put a stitch marker. Then I counted 24 star stitches, and then into the 25th star stitch, I added a stitch marker. Between this stitch marker and this one here, I have, counting the one where I have the stitch marker, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. Now, between this stitch marker, starting here into this next star stitch, I have 24 star stitches again, and in between here in the middle, like I said, I have 1, 2, 3 stitches, or 3 star stitches. So let me show you so you don't get confused. So to divide the legs in the next row, what I'm going to do is, this is where I finished right here. I'm going to chain 1, and turn. Now into this first star stitch, which is the last one that we did right here, into that little hole, insert your hook and make 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. Now into this next star stitch where I have the stitch marker, insert your hook there and make 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. Now we're going to skip these 24 star stitches. Let me count them for you. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and into this 25th star stitch, which is where I have my stitch marker, we're going to make 2 half double crochets. So skip 24 like I said, and into this 25th stitch where I have a stitch marker, make a half double crochet like this. Now inside that same stitch, make another one, so 2 half double crochets, and then into these next 3, 2 half double crochets as well. And into this one where I have the stitch marker. Okay, now if we look, this is what it looks like in the front. We have 4 star stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm going to redo this one here because I don't want this big gap right there that was created when I joined. So I'm going to redo this here. Make sure that this part is nice and not too loose. That was a big stitch there. So let's try again. So yarn over and insert your hook here and make a perfect half double crochet, and then half double crochet again. Yeah, that looks better, see? Much better. So now again, I'm going to do 2 half double crochets into the next 3 star stitches. And let's look at it now. This is the front. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 star stitches. Now we're going to turn this like this, and again we're going to do what we did here. We're going to join to this other side, so we're going to skip 24 star stitches and into the 25th, which is where I have my stitch marker right here. Make sure this is nice and tight, this stitch that we're going to do this when we join. Perfect, like that, and then make 1 more, and then here to finish, we're just going to go here to the side where we have the first half double crochet. So right here, join with a slip stitch. Now we're going to cut our yarn. Make sure that you leave a pretty long tail here because we're going to, actually I already cut it, because we're going to use this leftover yarn right here. So just pass your yarn through that last loop. We're going to use this leftover yarn to join with slip stitches here with this where we have this gap left. So now the legs are divided, and that's what it looks like. So we're going to go here to the back again. So now here we're going to go to this side right here, insert your hook right there. We have that stitch marker, and we're going to turn this like this. So actually I'm going to insert my hook like this. Since the half double crochets are worked from the inside out, that's what we're going to do this here. So chain 1, and into this same space here make 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. Now 2 half double crochets into the next, 2 half double crochets into the next, and so on. Here we're just going to continue around working these 24 half double crochets, but we're going to have more because we started here into this other stitch. So I think there should be about 26 once we're done here. So continue just making 2 half double crochets until you come to about here where we have this stitch marker. So I'll meet you right about here to show you how we're going to finish this first row. Okay, I'm here at this other end of the first row. I have 52 half double crochets up to here. So now here is where we divided the legs. So right in the center right here, we're going to make 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. Now we're going to finish this row. We're going to join here to the side where we have the first half double crochet with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished this first row with a total of 54 half double crochets, because remember we added 2 more here. So now in the next row we're going to do the first row of our pattern stitch, which is the star stitch. So chain 3, turn, into the second chain, insert your hook and grab a loop, into the third chain, grab a loop, into the slip stitch, also grab a loop right here. Mine is a bit tight. There. Grab a loop, and into these next 2 half double crochets, grab a loop. Now I have 6 loops on the hook, close, chain 1. Now to make your next one, insert your hook into the eye of your star stitch to the side, into the last, oops, let's see, and to the side, grab a loop, into this last stitch, grab a loop, and into the next 2 half double crochets, grab a loop, 6 loops on the hook, close, chain 1. So continue like this for this second row, and I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this second row. This is the first row to our pattern stitch. This is where we did our star stitches. Now to finish, I have up to here I have 27 star stitches, but I have not closed this last one here. Remember that to finish this row, you're just going to go on top of the first star stitch and join with a slip stitch. And that's how you're going to finish this row. Now from here on, we're going to repeat the row of the star stitches where you're always going to have 27 star stitches, and the row of half double crochets where you're always going to end with 54 half double crochets. So to do your row of half double crochets, chain 1 and turn. Now here inside this first star stitch, make 2 half double crochets, 2 half double crochets into the next, and so on. Here at the end, like I said, you're going to finish with 54 half double crochets. Then you're going to join here to the first half double crochet, chain 3, and then turn, and then repeat this star stitch row. Now I'm not exactly sure how many rows I'm going to do, but continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I have a total of 7 rows here from this row where we divided the legs. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now from here on, we're going to start using this 3mm crochet hook. This is to start shaping the end of the leg. So continue using the 3mm crochet hook for the rest of the pants, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I did a total of 4.5 rows using this 3mm crochet hook. So in total, if we count from where we divided the legs, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11.5 rows completed. And let's see, it's measuring from here. It's measuring about 16 centimeters, which is about 6.25 inches. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to start reducing this part a bit further. This is this last row that I did, it's the row where we only do the star stitches. So the next row is where we do the half double crochet. So using the same hook here, I joined and then chain 1. Now I'm going to turn. Inside each one of these star stitches, you're only going to make 1 half double crochet instead of 2. Like this. So jump to the next one and make 1 half double crochet. 1 half double crochet into the next, and so on. Continue like this all around, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this row of half double crochets. Up to here, this last stitch here, I have 27 half double crochets. To finish, we're going to join to the side here with a slip stitch, and this is how I finish this row. Now for the next row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now for this row here, what we're going to do is just single crochets all around for a couple of rows. I don't know, maybe about 1.5 inches or about an inch. I'm not exactly sure how many rows, but to do this, you're just going to chain 1 like we did, turn, and into this same stitch here, make a single crochet, then single crochet on top of the next half double crochet, single crochet on top of the next, and so on. At the end of every row from here on, you're always going to have 27 single crochets, and to finish, you're just going to join here to the top of the first single crochet with a slip stitch, chain 1, and then make your first single crochet into this same stitch, and then continue around again. So continue like this, repeating the same row, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making this part here. I did a total of, let's see, 5 rows, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now here at the end, I just joined to the beginning with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and pass my yarn through this last loop, and this part here is done. Now this part here is measuring about, let's see, it's about 2.5 centimeters, which is about an inch. And let's see, the total length of the leg from here is about, it's about 19.5 centimeters, which is about 7.75 inches. Now what we're going to do, oh, and if you want to make this longer, you can. I'm just going to leave it like this for the size that I'm making. It's perfect. But if you want the baby to wear this a bit longer, maybe you can do the leg a bit longer. So it's up to you. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the other leg. So we're going to go here. This is where we have our stitch marker. So insert your hook into this start stitch right here. This is where we have the stitch marker right there. Grab a loop, bring it through the front, and chain 1. Now into this same stitch, I'm going to remove this stitch marker. Actually, no, I need it because I still need to record my Spanish tutorial. Into this same stitch here, make 2 half double crochets right there. That's 1 and 2. Now remember, to do this part, we're going to use the 3.5mm crochet hook. We're going to do a total of 7 rows, counting this row here, and then we're going to switch to a 3mm crochet hook, and we're going to do that for 4.5 rows. I'm just going to show you this part here just to start you off. So here you're just going to continue around this row, just making 2 half double crochets like we normally do. So continue, and I'll meet you right about here at the end to show you how we're going to finish this row. Okay, I'm here at the end of this row where we did half double crochets all around. Here I have 50 half double crochets up to here. So into this next start stitch, this is where I have the stitch marker. You're going to also make 2 half double crochets there. 1 and 2. Now, right in the middle, right here, this is where we divided. So right here in this gap, you're going to do 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. Now, up to here, you should have a total of 54 half double crochets now. You're always going to have 54 half double crochets from here on whenever you do the second row to your pattern stitch. So to finish here, just go to the side and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished the first row with a total of 54 half double crochets, or if you count each one of the star stitches, you should have 27. Okay, so now for the next row, you're going to chain 3, turn like this, and here into the second chain from the hook, grab a loop, into the third, grab a loop, into the slip stitch right here. Make sure you make this nice and loose. I always forget. That's why I have a hard time inserting my hook here. Grab a loop, and into these next 2 half double crochets, grab a loop. 6 loops on the hook, close, chain 1. Now again, into the eye of this start stitch, grab a loop, to the side, grab a loop, into this last stitch, grab a loop, and into the next 2 half double crochets, grab a loop. 6 loops on the hook, close, chain 1. You're just going to continue like this or all around, finish this row. At the end, you're going to have 27 of these star stitches. You're going to join to the beginning like this with a slip stitch, chain 1, and then repeat the same row that I just did here, the row of half double crochets. And that's all you're going to do. Here, you're going to do a total of, let's see, 7 rows. I'm counting both rows as one row, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to use this 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, and then you're going to switch for 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 rows using the 3 millimeter crochet hook, this one here, and then with the same 3 millimeter crochet hook, you're going to do one row of 1 half double crochet on each one to reduce this part here a bit further, and then finish with 5 rows of single crochets. Okay, so continue and finish this other side. I'll come back and show you our finished baby pants. Okay, I finished making this other leg. This is what it looks like. Now I did it in the exact same way I showed you here on this other side. All I did here at the end was just join to the beginning with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and then I just hit all my ends. So our baby pants are done. Now here in the center, all I did was I chained about 150 chains, and then I just weaved it here through the center. Now also here in the crotch area, all I did was just put both sides like this together, and then I just sewed it with the yarn that we had left over. And this is what it looks like from the back. There it is, and this is the front. Okay, so now let me give you the finished measurements. From the top of the waistband down to the end of the leg, it's measuring about 40 centimeters, which is about 15.75 inches. Now, from the crotch area to the end of the leg, it's measuring 19 centimeters, which is about 7.5 inches. And around the leg, it's measuring 24 centimeters, which is about 9.5 inches. And from the crotch up to the waist, it's measuring 21 centimeters, which is about 8.25 inches, and around the hip area, around this part here, it's measuring 50 centimeters, which is about 19.75 inches. So based on those measurements, these little pants are for baby boys and girls between 3 and 6 months old. Just like the little jacket that I already showed you, this one here. I'll leave the link down here in the information box, and I think I'll do the matching little booties and the matching little hat or matching little bonnet. Let me know which one you prefer. Also, before I forget, I used exactly 110 grams of yarn. Okay, so this has been today's tutorial. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.